guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VIII. Last time we finished up the game. This time, we're gonna go over and do some bonus content. Early on in the Let's Play, you guys had asked for me to show off all the GF animations. So that's what we're going to do today. Got GF set on everyone, and we're gonna take a good look at everyone. We're gonna start, and we're just gonna do these in order here, starting with Quetzalcoatl, I guess. And then we'll see if I can remember the actual order that we do things in. Now, this isn't going to be a damage calculation setup. I'm not gonna, show the exact, the best way of getting the most damage out of each of them, because I can't really remember what most of the enemies are weak to or anything like that. But I figure I might as well show things off. Now, the other thing you can see out of this is the boost feature. Now, the boost feature is down on the bottom right there. It will change to an X, meaning you have to stop pressing the square button. And if you do press it, it fades back down. Now, with most of them, or with all of them, they start at 75% of their max power if you decide to boost, and then you can boost it back to 100% and then beyond. The early GFs don't have a huge amount of, damage, or a huge amount of time to use the boost feature, and I'm not going to show off boost for every single one of them. But basically, the faster you are at mashing, and I'm extremely bad today apparently, you can actually get more damage. It increases their damage by a percentage. As you can see, we did a lot more at 125-ish% as opposed to 75%. Now, as far as the animations themselves go, the animations look pretty nice. I've noticed that the animations look a little bit better in the remaster. But, yeah, this isn't a testing of the damage or anything like that. Boost is boost. That's what it allows you to do. It only costs 10 AP to learn. Every GF that can deal damage that changes with your... what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, my brain just stopped working. This is what happens when we record on a Saturday when I haven't recorded in 2 Saturdays now. But yeah, so you'll do more damage if you're using your boost ability. Well, there's Odin. As you can tell, I'm back on disc 3. I actually came here to do all my level grinding, which is why I'm also level 100. This will be set up for the next bonus episode, or at least one of the other bonus episodes. I'm not sure which order I'm doing them in yet, but... Hi, Odin! Yeah, the remaster, I think the summons look a little bit better. It's not a huge difference one way or the other, but either way, we've got all the GFs. Let's see if we can show off some of the different animations. For the most part, I don't really look at a lot of them anymore. It's just been so long since I've actually bothered casting most of them. And we're going to hold off because I think Brothers is the next one I should show off. Now, since I haven't really talked about it a lot, when you do summon GFs, the GF will take damage in place of your GF. Now, I'm just going to press the select button there in order to remove the background layer, and I'm not going to press the boost button anymore until we get much later on. But yeah, apparently they censored Siren in the remaster, which would be the first time I think Siren's been censored. I think they censored her in Final Fantasy VI as well, and maybe some of the other ones. They used to censor all the sprites all the time. Siren can inflict silence as well as just, doing a little bit of damage. Diablos is gravity-based, and in my original playthrough, and probably even my second playthrough of the game, I summoned Diablos a lot because you could get 9,999 damage out of him relatively often. Because not only is this gravity damage based on, the enemy's HP, it's also based on Diablos' level. At least I believe so. meaning the higher level he is, the more likely you're going to be able to do a butt ton of damage. And let's see here, what else can we get? Brothers should be next. What did I get after Brothers? I think I got Carbuncle, right? Do I not have Carbuncle on? I'll have to go put Carbuncle on. I guess I'm missing a few GFs. That's alright, not a big deal. Probably be toast after this anyway. I think the next one after that would have been Leviathan then. Well, Cerberus, but... Or no, it would have been Leviathan. What am I thinking? Yeah, the, oh yeah. There we go. Rock, paper, scissors? He lost, so he gets tossed. I've always been partial to this animation. I've always liked this one. Okay, we'll show off Leviathan. I didn't think we'd get Leviathan in there. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, my first few playthroughs of this game, I relied primarily on GFs for taking down like larger groups of enemies. I also use normal attacks and limit breaks a lot too, but hello. Maybe I should have not been in a forest. Leviathan's animation is pretty cool. You know, coming, you know, through the world as, you know, like moving water like that. Sentient water. It's pretty cool. Seems to have a lot of earth-based powers, too. And, yeah, bad textures. What can you do? I think in the demo, I think didn't they have access to Leviathan during the Dalit mission? Because, like, in the demo, you just did the Dalit mission. You had your regular clothes instead of your cadet clothes, and I think they had access to Leviathan. I think I played the demo version once or twice. I can't remember, though. Let's see. Do you guys still have... There's Carbuncle. Oh, that was the only one I forgot to put on. Okay. That's fine. Oops. Alright, let's find another battle here. There we go. One of the things I kind of brushed over and talked about, but I didn't really talk about during the ending that I kind of wanted to address. Let's get Cerberus going. And let's get Carbuncle going. And we'll do Pandemona, sure. Is the difficulty of the game. Now, I kind of talked about it in my review when I was talking about drawing. And the fact that you could either draw lots of stuff and be completely overpowered, or you could draw relatively little and, you know, not be overpowered at all and be underpowered. Well, the reason why I didn't talk about difficulty in general is because, well, I kind of broke the game. By the way, Cerberus gives you double and triple on all party members, so it's actually useful to cast. Carbuncle will apply Reflect to everybody, so there's that. And there's our little Pikachu. Everybody loves Carbuncle. It's so cute. But yeah, I didn't really talk about the difficulty because the difficulty of the game is completely tied to the junction system, and the junction system is, well, so easy to exploit. Alexander. Well, I'll give them this much. Pandemona may look a little weird, but it sure beats the hell out of the Typhoon summon from Final Fantasy VII. That one, just the creature involved in that one just looks weird. This one's like kind of like a mix between that and Atomos from Final Fantasy IX, and I guess V. Though we don't see it do that kind of an animation in V. Let's see here. Oh, well, you're gone. But yeah, so the difficulty of the game is what it is. There's not really a whole lot to say about it because it can either be super easy or it can be super hard. It all depends on how you play the game. And personally, my preference goes toward games where I can one-shot enemies without doing anything. Where I don't have this really blatant choice other than simply level grinding. And here, it's not even so much level grinding as it is if you're playing the game with any amount of knowledge of how the system works, you're going to be drawing from certain enemies, you're going to be using cards to give yourself more abilities to do things, you know, get higher stats and all this other stuff and get new abilities. But for whatever reason, I just don't like how it's implemented here. It doesn't really work for me. It gives you too much freedom and there's not enough of a line, and for a lot of people they would much prefer having more freedom, but I'm personally not as big a fan of that. I guess we'll show off Bahamut and Alexander. Now, I believe if you get silenced while summoning, don't quote me on this, but I believe if you get silenced while summoning, then your summon will stop mid-cast. Continuing to summon a GF with the same character or casting specific spells will increase your compatibility and hence your speed with that particular GF. Doom Train, we've already seen. Doom Train is badass. He inflicts a multitude of statuses and does a little bit of damage, including inflicting the all-important Meltdown status, or Vitality 0. Stola Kiraga. Well, here's us using Mega Flare as opposed to the boss Bahamut using Mega Flare. Now, the further you get along with all of these GFs, the more time you have to enact Boost. As you can see with something like Bahamut, who's one of the last GFs that, in fact, I think it was the last actual GF that we got, you get a lot more time with which to actually cast the GF, and therefore more time to activate Boost and get a higher percentage. One of the reasons I think I loved Diablo so much the first time I played the game was that the animation was so much faster and I still got really high damage out of it. And you don't have to bother with doing any boosting because it's gravity based. So you don't have to boost it up or anything like that. I'm not sure what it is, but maybe it's the fact that in my first playthrough of Final Fantasy VII I missed the Alexander summon, but when I got it here, maybe it's just you get it so late that you're normally using physical attacks a lot more later in the game just because it's faster, and you don't need the added power of the GF to compensate for any kind of weakness in your stats because you're able to get all of your stats all boosted up by the end of the game. But I never seem to use Alexander a lot in Final Fantasy games. Cactuar, let's show that off. And Toneberry. And that only leaves me with one more option. We've shown off everything. I have a feeling we're not going to get to Eden in this one, but we get 1,000 needles from Cactuar here. Of course we do. It's Cactuar. Did 9,000 damage that time. Okay, so we had Toneberry and Eden to finish off the next fight with. There's one other thing I'll show off in this episode, and then I think that'll be it for this one. And I'll get to work on some of the other stuff we've got planned. Well, these guys probably won't survive Toneberry, but that's fine. There's Toneberry. Stoneberry, do your worst. If not, we get to show Eden at the end too. Alright, so we got Chef's Knife. I believe... Okay, so Tonberry does get the boost. Cactuar did not get the boost. You cannot affect Cactuar's damage, I don't think. My little Tonberry friend. Normally you're always killing me with your grudge. I love the sweat bead. Boink. That's it? That's all we get? Alright, now... Eden, as far as GF goes, is the longest of the bunch. You have far more time to do Eden's draw than you do any other one in the entire game. And you have so much time, in fact, that it's relatively easy, even if you're going really, really slowly, to get all the way up to max. Jeez, sometimes they troll you on it really hard. I'm hoping I can max it out here, because it does max out. Whoa. It does max out at, I think, 250. Yeah, see? I tried pressing it again, no good. So it maxes out at 250, but they give you so much time to do this one that it's just ridiculous. See, like, they're still giving you more time, and I've been going real slowly today. I haven't even... I used to be able to get my hand in a kind of a... It's hard to explain, but basically I would vibrate it, like I kind of clench my arm muscle and I vibrate my finger, and I haven't been able to do that particularly well in quite some time. But, Eden is the only one, as you can see there, by default, that's actually able to break the damage limit. I think the maximum for Eden is about 60,000 damage. Eden doesn't level up very quickly, so you're unlikely to get Eden to max level unless you're really trying for it. As you can see, during my travels, I've leveled up many of my GFs here. Most of them are either 100 or close to. The only one that's a long way off is Eden, which is kind of surprising. I could have switched things up so that Eden was basically by itself on a character while I was doing my level grinding, but nah. Anyway, that's all we wanted to do for that. There's one other thing I do want to show off while we're doing stuff here. And that would be, I want to demonstrate Devour. Now, Devour is interesting because Devour can actually raise your stats. And where's my airship here? There it is. We need to go find... Let's go for an Adamantoise, I guess. It's close by. There are a number of enemies you can fight to raise your stats, but not all enemies will do it. So let's go over here, and we'll see if we can find an Adamantoise, because that's one of the enemies you can fight in order to raise your stats with. Alright, there we go. And yes, so the way Devour works is it's kind of like the card ability. You have to lower the HP of the enemies that you're fighting to a reasonable level so that you can make Devour actually work. Lower the HP, the better off that it's going to work. So we'll try it out here and see if it actually works. You get varying different animations, and they all are censored. And you heard that error sound, meaning it didn't work. Otherwise, you will hear a different sound. It'll sound something like something being eaten, and then you'll be able to get stuff out of it. Now, depending on which enemies that you use this on, varying different effects can happen. You can get some HP healing. You can get some status recovery, I believe. Nope, didn't work. Okay. You can get some negative status. Yeah, you can get a number of different things. Do I have any? I don't have any scans, do I? You guys have scan? I don't have draw. Does anybody have draw? Nobody has draw. I took draw off specifically because I knew I wasn't going to need it. Let's try this again. Of course, I could use magic to try and make this easier, but, you know, whatever. No, no go. For whatever reason, it stalls the music, which I always found kind of weird. Yeah, being at level 100 definitely helps. I don't think I have Demi on anyone. No. Oh, crap, you healed. Were they weak to Earth? I can't remember. I remember I screwed up before. I think they're weak to lightning, aren't they? I think they absorb this, don't they? Oh, no, they don't. Okay. There we go. I don't know why, but that took absolutely forever. You feel healthier. Now, each time you devour an enemy, you'll get a different line of dialogue. Sometimes it'll say things like, it's rotten or tastes bad, and you'll get status effects. But certain enemies, such as this guy, will actually increase your stats. In particular, the Adamantoids will increase your vitality. If you devour a Behemoth, it'll raise your magic stat. Your strength stat is raised by devouring a T-Rexor. Your spirit is raised by devouring a Malbro. You can only raise your speed by devouring Poo-Poo, which is a terrible idea because then you won't get Poo-Poo's card, and there's only one of them. And your HP is raised by devouring Ruby Dragons, very dangerous enemy. Or by devouring Renoa during the Adele fight, where she's being held captive. Now, you may remember from that fight, I told you, if her HP drops to 0, it's game over. So technically you get more HP from it, but you also get game over right away. So I don't know how anyone figured this out, but it's a really weird thing, because it's an instant game over. Anyway, that's weirdness aside, that's kind of how it works. So yeah, you can use it if you want. It's similar to card. I believe when you use it, like card, you'll only get AP and not experience. So it's another basically thing like card if you want to reduce an enemy to no HP at a higher level. Just keep trying it over and over and over again. It didn't seem to work very well for me against the Adamantoises, but they kept healing. I just ended up using Irvine with an aura spell to AP ammo the other one out of existence so he wouldn't heal, and just kept going 2 attacks and devour to see when exactly it would work for me. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to show with this episode. Next time, we have a little more bonus content to show off. And yeah, that's all for this one. And I'll see you guys next time.